Are you struggling to decide what to do next with your life? What if I told you I was in the same position when I was 16? I didn't have anyone to guide me, so I ended up wasting my teenage years. It can be really hard figuring things out on your own. So here are some of the things I wish someone told me after leaving school, which will help you to make better decisions so you don't end up wasting your teenage years. Number one, speak to your future self. Don't worry, this doesn't involve you turning off your lights, sitting in a dark room and pulling out that Ouija board. All I want you to do is imagine yourself 10 years from now and doing the job you plan to do. And I want you to take some time to listen to what your future self is saying. Is that person saying, yes, you're taking the right actions? Or is that person saying, you should be doing something else? When you do this, it can really open your eyes because you're not just thinking about the now, you're thinking about the future. And a lot of us, when we're in our teenage years, we just think about today and tomorrow because we think we're going to stay young forever. But time moves so fast, you won't believe it. That's why you have to take time to talk to your future self. Now, some of you may have done work experience to get a feel of what your future may look like. But when you do your work experience, the biggest mistake we make is we only look at the job. We don't look at our environment, but also our surroundings. So I'd recommend you getting as much experience as you can so you can get a real feel of what it feels like working in that environment. But more importantly, when you do your work experience, you cannot just look at your job. You've got to look at your surroundings and the people you'll be working with. Your environment, but also the people you're surrounded by will dictate whether you enjoy your job or not. When I did my work experience in the orthotic department at Bolton Royal Hospital, I made two fatal mistakes. Number one, I only went for 1 day. Number two, I didn't look at the surroundings. Would I actually fit into that environment? Over the years, I come to realize I love my job, but that environment doesn't suit my personality. That's why it's so important when you do your work experience, you look at the whole picture, your surroundings, your environment, the people you're going to work with. And if you can see yourself in that setting, then continue what you're doing. But if you look at that environment and think, I don't see myself there in 10 years, maybe it's time for a rethink. Over the last 12 years, I've worked in over 20 hospitals. The location may change, but the people and the environment is always the same. So I want you to gain as much experience as you can, but also take time to speak to your future self and see what he would say. I know it sounds a little bit crazy. If someone told me when I was 16 to speak to my future self, I would think, what is this guy talking about? But it can give you some real good answers. It can give you a little bit of clarity. By not just thinking in the now, you can help make better decisions for your future. Your teenage years are the most exciting but also fun years of your life. So take advantage of them to try as many things as you want. And as you get older, this principle of speaking to your future self will become better because you will have more experiences to draw upon. This is something that you don't have to just use now. This is something you can continue to use for the rest of your life. Take some time to speak to your future self and it may just help you decide on what to do next. Now you might be asking, what if I do that and I still make the wrong decision? The truth is, there is no guarantee you're ever going to make the right decision. But what you can guarantee is that you take the right steps to ensure you make the best decision for you. By speaking to your future self, taking time to do as much experience as possible will allow you to make the best decision. And when that time comes, if you've made the wrong decision, you will have little or no regrets because you took the right steps to make the best decision at that time. So don't worry if you made the right decision or not. Just make sure you take the right steps to make the best possible decision. Number two, don't let fear stop you from taking action. Now, you might have a dream, but you fear what people are going to say and think if you follow that. But this is one of the worst things you can do, letting other people's opinions stop you from taking action. Because when you get older, you will look back with regret, thinking, why did you let someone else stop you from following your dreams? So I want you to realize a few things. People will always judge and have an opinion, whether you do good or bad. The sooner you realize this, the sooner you can start taking action. Because if you're the best person in the world, someone will always have something to say. If you're the worst person in the world, someone will always have something to say. If you don't take action, someone will have an opinion. If you do take action, someone will have an opinion. So no matter what you do, there will always be someone out there who has something to say. So don't let the fear of what other people are going to say and think stop you from taking action. Furthermore, I want you to look at those people and their opinions and see what they're doing with their lives. Is that something you see yourself doing? If it isn't, you shouldn't even care about what those people have to say. Now, if you fear failure, you shouldn't, because each failure contains valuable experiences. I've had multiple failures in my life, whether it comes to relationships, businesses, and friendships. And from those failures, I've become a better person. Each failure gives you valuable experiences. Without failure, you can't be successful. That's why you shouldn't look at failures as a negative, because they contain so many valuable lessons that will help you to become better each time. Yes, it's not nice to fail, and no one wants to fail, but it's something you've got to go through to be successful. Furthermore, I don't even use the word failure. All I say is I've had past valuable experiences because they are helping me today. Stop looking at failures as a negative and a bad thing, because they can be a way to learn but also help you progress in life. So stop being afraid to fail, because every successful person has failed but also has come back twice as strong to be successful. Failure is going to be part of the journey if you want to achieve great things but also live the life that you want. If you want to live a boring, simple life, then you don't have to be afraid to fail. You can just do the same thing every day. But if you want to build an exciting life that will possibly take you out to Malaysia, around Asia, around South America, around the world, you have to be ready to fail. So don't be afraid of it. Enjoy those failures, learn from those failures, and come back better. Fear is something we all face at some point in our lives, but our environment can make it a lot worse. That's why I want you to start surrounding yourself with strong-minded, successful people. Because the people you surround yourself will dictate how you behave but also act. If everyone around you is being fearless, pushing themselves to the limit, you will want to do the same. Maybe not on the first day, maybe not in the first month, but within the year, I guarantee it, you will want to push harder. That's why it's so important that you surround yourself with the right people, especially if you're someone who's surrounded by negativity, by people who always fear everything bad is going to happen. You've got to surround yourself with the right people. And if that means leaving your friends, you need to do it. Because if you surround yourself with the right people who have the right mindset, who are driving for success, you will want to do the same. If you have people who are fearless, who don't care what other people think, you will do the same. That's why your environment is so important, especially if you're suffering with fear. Get yourself into the gym, get yourself into martial arts club, surround yourself with strong-minded people, and it will not only reduce your fear, it will have a massive impact on your confidence. Number 3, it's okay if you haven't got life figured out in your teenage years, and you don't have to make it in the next 12 months. Social media, but also what other people are doing, can make you think like you're falling behind. So you end up rushing decisions, doing things that you don't want to do, instead of taking a little bit of time to figure things out. I thought you had to get things done by a certain age. That's why I ended up wasting my teenage years doing subjects I didn't enjoy, and also choosing a degree I didn't even like. So instead of trying to live on everyone else's time frames, waste my teenage years, waste most of my 20s, I should have taken some time to think what I really wanted to do. Instead of wasting the next 10 years doing a degree you don't like, doing a job you don't like, why not take the next 12 months to figure things out? If you do this, you can achieve a lot more in the next 2 to 3 years, because you will know what you want to do. So you'll put in the extra effort, the extra energy to make it happen. So instead of rushing into a degree or job, take the next 12 months to figure things out. Try different jobs, work in different fields, take some time to travel abroad. When you go to a different country, it opens your eyes, but also you can see different opportunities. When you're a teenager, 12 months can seem like a long time, but taking this period out just to figure things out, try a few things, learn about yourself, but also gain as much experience as you can, it can help you save 10 years of your life. In 12 months, you can figure so much out. When you see everyone around you knowing what they want to do with their lives, going to university, starting businesses, working with their family, getting a job, just taking action, and you're there thinking, what should I do? It can make you feel like you're falling behind, but also make you think, why have you not got your shit together? Sometimes it just takes a little bit longer for some people to figure things out. I wish someone had given me this advice in my teenage years. I wish I just took that 1 year out to try as many things as I can, work in different fields, and just gain that valuable life experience so I could make a better informed decision. Now in 12 months, you may not have the answers, but you will definitely know you don't want to work in those factories, you don't want to work in retail, and you definitely don't want to do a 9 to 5. So instead of wasting the next 5, 10, 20 years on something you don't like, take 12 months out of your life to figure things out, experience as much as you can. I guarantee that when you look back, you will thank yourself for taking that little bit of time out to figure things out. Number 4, learn to be better. Unfortunately, school doesn't teach us anything about becoming a better person to succeed in life. And this is something I wish I did a lot sooner, especially in my teenage years. The first thing I would learn is how to become a good communicator. Now I'm quite confident I could talk to anyone, I could hold a conversation, I could make people laugh. I was quite loud. But that didn't make me a good communicator. If anything, it probably made me a little annoying. Therefore, you need to learn how to communicate because it will help you build relationships, it'll help you to influence people, it'll make people like you, but also it'll make you a better leader. So make sure you learn how to speak, but also how to listen. These two things will help you get so far in life. If you can speak the right way, you can convince anyone to do anything. If you can listen, you can get so many people to like you, but also you'll be able to get valuable information. If you can learn to communicate properly in your teenage years, you will be so successful in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, and for the rest of your life. The next thing I want you to learn is anything is possible, and this is very important in your teenage years. If you believe this, you will be able to achieve so much. Growing up, I didn't think certain things were possible due to my background, due to my upbringing, due to my finances. This put a limiting belief through my teenage years, but also my 20s and 30s. Only in the past, maybe 5 years, I've come to realize anything is possible as long as you put in the work, but also you have a desire to make it happen. You combine work and desire together, you can achieve so much in a short period of time. But it's something I wish I learned earlier, especially in my teenage years, because your mindset will dictate your actions. If deep down you think it's not possible, it's never going to happen. But if you think anything is possible, you can make your dreams a reality, but also you can change the course of your life. The sooner you learn this, the sooner you believe this, the sooner you can make everything a reality. So don't let anyone tell you it's not possible. Some people may have not achieved their dreams, so they tell you you can't do what you want to do. But the truth is, they didn't have the desire, the ambition, but also deep down they didn't believe it could be a reality. If you believe anything is possible and learn this when you're young, you will be able to achieve whatever you want. The third thing you need to learn in your teenage years is that your words will dictate your actions. If you're always saying, I can't do it, you will never find the energy or the mental capacity to do the things that you want. It's crazy how certain words can create a roadblock, but also stop us from taking action. That's why you have to change the words you use when you speak. Instead of saying I can't, say I can. I know it's a small thing, but if you constantly say I can't do it, it's too hard, it's too difficult, you will create a victim mentality and you will never be able to achieve the things that you want. That's why going forward, I want you to be conscious of the words that come out of your mouth. Just remember, every time you speak, it will dictate your actions, but also your futures. So make sure those words that come out of your mouth are positive, but also driving you to do better and greater things. Number 5, learning to say no. When I was growing up in my teenage years, I just wanted to be liked from everyone. So I would pretty much say yes to everything, even if it cost my health, my finances, and didn't benefit me in any way. That's why you have to learn to say no in your teenage years, because this habit of saying yes to everything continues through your 20s and your 30s. And if you don't learn to say no, it will continue through your 40s, 50s, and for the rest of your life. Then there will come a point and you will think, why didn't you just say no to a lot more things? When we're young, it's hard to say no because of FOMO, because of what other people are going to say, because of peer pressure. Sometimes you've got to be a little bit hated, you've got to be a little bit disliked to achieve the things that you want. And the people you say no to, if they do not understand what you're doing and why you're saying no, maybe you need to choose some better friends to be around. Your teenage years can be the best years of your life. So take every opportunity you can and just take a little bit of time to make those right decisions. Now, if you want a little bit of help with that, the link's in the description. But if you want to know how to improve your life straight away, you might want to click here.